YouTube, it's Monday night, so time for Tele Tuesday. Again, keep doing it early, so I'm going to try and do a wee short video, hopefully like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll do a jam with this thing as a second part, try and divide it up a bit. So this is one I made myself. This is a malkocaster, TM in brackets. So it looks very washed out in this picture. As you can see, this is made from knotty pine. Basically it's two bits of joist that are stuck together. You can see the join line there, probably more obvious in the back. Yeah, and obviously not finished in two ways. Not finished as in it's just bare wood, and also I never really sanded it fully. I was quite keen on having a 7-string guitar to find out what a 7-string guitar was like. So this used to be a PV Predator Plus ST7, like it says on the headstock. So I got this. So the bridge was like it's a sort of tunomatic type bridge, like a 7-string tunomatic, 7-string single pickup, and the neck and the tuners, well, are all from the PV. The rest I made myself. The PV was a sort of horrible shaped thing, kind of sort of nondescript, the kind of guitar I don't like. I don't mind odd shaped guitars, sort of thing, but that's got a sort of a nice look to it. This one just kind of a bit sort of a bit sort of nothing. So I made myself a Telecaster out of it. The PV had it did have the bridge pickup, and instead of the neck pickup, it had in fact it's actually the pickup I put in my Geezer Butler bass. It was like a bar jazz bass pickup in the neck, which, let's be honest, looked absolutely hideous. The reason that had been done is when I bought the 7-string, I got it cheap because somebody had converted it to a 6-string. I think maybe it was somebody with maybe arthritis or something like that, you know, where they wanted a really wide fretboard with just like a 6-string guitar, so the strings were a bit further apart, so that there was like extra grooves cut on the on the tunomatic bridge part, which I've now centred, so it's now back to being 7-string. I didn't put another pickup in it, I just kept it, so it's basically an Esquire. You can see if you look, it's even very bright today. This bit here I didn't cut particularly well. It's not, if I hold it in front of the amp you might be able to see, so it's not quite line up with the edge of that, but that wasn't really the point. It's a little bit rough on the inside. It's not the best thing for sanding, is pine. I think that's pretty much why guitars are made out of like ash and mahogany and stuff, because it's much easier to sand and much easier to work with wood, whereas this is all splintery and a bit shit. Although the original Telecasters were apparently pine when Leo Fender started making them, but changed his mind later on, like after a year or something, because he realised that he was importing pine from Canada and it was expensive, and he was like, so he thought, well, what kind of trees grow here in California? And it was ash, so that's why Fenders are ash, or that's why they started being ash anyway, so they didn't have to import stuff from Canada. So you can rage on about the tone wood debate as much as you want. I think that's also why Telecasters were always painted black at the start as well, because they had to hide the knots. So I was obviously a little bit clever with it and didn't put any of the knots where the important parts of the guitar are. You know, that's kind of out away from importantness. There's a 2-piece body, single Telecaster type plate, because I like a Telecaster plate. I did put a push-pull on it, so it's got a coil split, so this could be a single coil or a humbucker. I put the output on the front, partly because I like the output on the front rather than on here, because it doesn't get in the way as much, and also it means I don't need to drill any extra holes. You can just stick it in the front, dead easy. And this is an air vent to let the, you know, so the pop can breathe. Not just because there's a hole there for a switch. You can buy Telecaster plates that don't have you know, blank ones that you can drill your own holes in, but they're like 10 times the price. They're like a tenner or something like that. Whereas if you look on eBay, you can pick up from China like a wired one with the switch and the 2 pots on it for like £6, something like that. Like if you buy the plate on its own, it's sort of £3. Another way I was looking at it, just figured you can never have too many spare pots lying about and stuff, so I was just buying, I tend to buy just the whole assembly, and even if I don't use all of it. Yeah, so this is a 7-string, as I said. So if you're new to 7-strings, it's basically a 6-string with a B as a low string. It's got an extra fat string on it, which recently I got donated, or I acquired an 8-string Jackson, and it's impossible to play. I said in the video I did, this is a couple of months ago, I was determined I was going to learn how to play it, and I keep trying it, and I hate it. I'll just be totally honest. I'm sure it's a very nice guitar. It's got Seymour Duncan and stuff in its neck through. You know, it's quite fancy, but it's just there is a point when the neck it becomes no longer a guitar, and impossible. This does have a wide neck. If I can see I checked the scale length in this just 2 minutes ago, so my measuring tape should be lying about, but I don't see it. But I can. I've got this steel rule. So the nut on this is 47 mil, I would say, and normally you would expect it to be 42, so it's a bit wider, but not ridiculous. And at the 12th fret, it's 61 millimeters wide, whereas on this guitar here, the 12th fret is 50. So it's 10 mil wider up here, and I'll measure it up there. And then it's sort of 5 mil wider at the nut, which kind of works well. You obviously the strings start off thin and get splayed down the body. Yeah. So, and as I was saying there about the 8-string, I found it completely impossible. You just get lost all the time. Whereas this one is like a 5-string bass, so I can just play this completely normally and just ignore. You just basically just skip over the top string and don't touch it until you get to a bit that you need it. I think it would be really good if you're into sort of, obviously some sort of, I'm going for baby metal, but you know, any modern heavy metal-y, whatever you call it, type music, but you know, you're doing a bit more of that kind of thing. You could use it for that, but you can still play it as a normal guitar. Without getting lost, whereas as soon as you put the 8-string on, it adds another 10 mil onto the width here, another 5 mil on here, and it just becomes, for me, too different. You know, there's a I think if that's it, maybe I think it would be different if I wanted to play, if I liked listening to the music that's done on something like an 8-string, whereas to be honest I don't, apart from baby metal. They're actually, there's a picture of the latest baby metal guitar, came out, it was 6 months ago, and it's 9-string. And I just don't know what you could possibly do. It's like $3,000 or something. It's an ESP, not a particularly nice looking guitar. But I did notice on one of them, the middle string was red, which I thought was quite amusing, because that obviously, so you've got a chance of knowing where you are. So I don't even know what the next string down would be. On the 8-string, it's an F sharp, I think. I don't know how. Maybe the 9-strings maybe got an extra high string higher than the E. Maybe a high A or something, I don't know, and then you paint the middle one red so you get a chance of knowing where you are when you're playing it up here. Yeah, so as I said, this is a coil split, so it should still sound a bit like a Telecaster. This is because this is Tele Tuesday, this is one of those ones where you kind of go, is it still a Telecaster? Well, an Esquire, it's only got the one pickup. Actually, this might be quite good for when I do a jam on this. I might actually go for a bit of a western type theme thing, because it's got sort of baritone extra notes on it. There's a B, so it'll be the same note. You just add a B on top of it, on top of the G. You get a full G. This is actually the first time I've ever even considered trying to play full chords. Every time I've ever been playing full chords in this, I've just ignored the B string and just played normally. But if you add, so the extra one you would add onto that would be a B. No, it would be a B, C, D, whatever. I'm just doing the same one, because obviously on a guitar you know that the two E's are the same, so you can play the same thing on both frets. So it's the same with the B. You can play on the two B's. And my thinking is, well, maybe actually, I'm so used to playing the Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here" G, which has got the extra on the B string you're playing on the 3rd fret. So instead of a G, you've got a G, which is just a little bit more twankly. So if you play it open, then you can just have the B string ringing open. Reverb, wee laney, clean channel. conquer it. I think with a 7-string, because it's more designed for your rug-a-dug metal type stuff, the pickup in it's probably a very high output one, so it's really pretty muddy when you're playing in the clean channel, like I am just now. It doesn't have the spank that you get from the single. I've already got past my 10 minutes, so there'll be no jam, but I will make a turn off the reverb, turn on the rat pedal. What is good about having the extra string is when you're just doing mad jamming over the top. I'll be back in humbucker mode. It's dead easy to just play whatever you would normally play. But you just got... it's in the same relation. So you're just basically playing whatever you're playing on the A string. You can just play that 2 frets down on the B string. So all your patterns just have got an extra line in them. And the same with your power chords. The way I've got it tuned, I think you can tune it differently. If you drop the B down to a B flat, a C sharp, you'll end up with it'll be the same as sort of drop D on a, like when you're playing on a 6-string guitar, which would mean that you could basically just play your power chords and then let this note ring. If you know what I mean, you'd be able to do the same thing when you play both notes on the same fret. But it just gives you different power chords, so instead of just having what I would normally play as an E string, when you play an A, a quick combo, yeah, that sort of shape. You can instead go down. It's not so easy to get your thumb over the top, obviously, because the fretboard's wider, but still doable. I think before I do the jam video in 2 minutes time, I will tune it. These strings have been on it since I built it, probably 2 years ago, so I did give them a bit of a scrape and a bit of a go on the fast fret. I've mentioned that before. Use that stuff, it makes it a little bit less bad when you've got really shit strings on your guitar, which just happens to be quite a lot. I've only ever bought one set of 7 strings. I'd never bought elixirs. I should have, but this was really just a sort of more of an idea. I wanted to have a 7-string. I didn't want to pay for one. And 7 strings are always minging. It's the same problem I've mentioned this before with basses. An awful lot of them are just horrible shapes, or really uninteresting. And I just felt 7-string tele, it's kind of unusual and pretty cool. I'm going to take this strap. This strap is really cool. It kind of looks like something like Alien, you know, H.R. Geiger-y look with skulls on it. So I'll probably put that on a different guitar rather than this one. Just put a crap strap on this one. I don't know why it's on this. Maybe I've just never found the right guitar. That would maybe on a BC Richard would be quite good. Something a bit evil and pointy. So I've managed to make it 14 minutes without actually having a jam. So rock on, stay locked down. Don't listen to Boris. What an absolute knob. Catch you later.